Christ Center kids. Pastor Sarah here, and I have Nathan and Sam, my boys, and we have our pet, our dog, Lily. We're just excited. We just got her back from training yesterday, so we're super excited. She's had a very exciting day. She's taking a little nap while we do kids church. So we're super glad to be here with you. And I know things are a little bit different this week, aren't they, guys? What are some things that have been different in life this week?
Everybody's bored to death.
Oh, bored to death.
No one in this family can go outside very much.
Well, we've been outside. We just have to be more careful about
People around us.
Yeah, play dates is kind of taking a pause for now. Coming to church, going to school, all those things have taken a little pause, right? That's different. But what are some fun things that we've done instead?
I mean, we have got the opportunity to be able to sleep in and walk with our dog and run around like psychopaths.
Play out in the sunshine.
Yes.
What about you? What's one of your favorite things we've done this week?
We got to make houses on St. Patrick's Day out of things outside that are not man-made. And whoever did the best houses would get the first shamrock shake.
Ooh, that's what we had. Yeah, on St. Patrick's Day. Do you mind if I show him your house?
Yeah.
Nathan, you and a sibling won the competition. And it was really fun. So that could be a fun challenge. I love to see what you guys are doing with your extra time together as a family, playing out in your yard and being creative. And I love seeing your ideas. So if you have more ideas to share, go ahead and comment. Let us know. I love it that so many of your moms or dads are sharing your ideas on Facebook, and that's giving us all some great ideas to try during the week. So thank you for sharing. That's helping us, which is very helpful in this time. We've got lots of extra time to enjoy pillow fights and other things we don't normally do. It's been fun.
Just to clarify, I'm only here for the goldfish.
Oh, we didn't have goldfish today. No goldfish. But I'm thankful for these guys helping me today. I appreciate it. Well, this week, it's really kind of a beautiful thing, right in line with our regular lessons. Here we have a lesson about Jesus, who's the miracle worker. Miracle Maker. You know that song, Miracle Worker? We may have to put a link to it at the bottom. You guys have to listen to that this week. That's been a good one. We were just singing it a little bit ago. But I'll put a link to the song down below. We're talking about Jesus, the Miracle Maker, and all these amazing stories that we read in our Bibles about how Jesus touched people and healed people who were sick, who needed help. His response was always to go and help them. And so I love that. We're going to read a story about that today. But I'm just curious, Sam and Nathan, what's maybe one of your favorite miracle stories?
I am not sure because, I mean, there were a lot of them.
Well, just mention one then. Maybe it's not your favorite necessarily, but what's one that you can think of right now? And while he's thinking, you guys can comment too, or tell each other, share with each other your favorite miracle story, or one of the ones you're thinking of right now.
I honestly think the one where Jesus heals the man that couldn't use his arm.
That's pretty amazing. That's right. The man with his hand was kind of shriveled and he wasn't able to use it, and Jesus touched it and it became a whole, usable hand. That's amazing.
Well,
that would have been cool to be there and see it, huh?
It was kind of a miracle when when Jesus was out in the desert and then Satan came out, but then God's like, heck no, get out.
Yeah. Yep.
Get it.
So think about those ideas. We are going to be talking about ways that God does heal, and there are many different ways. One of the ways we think of when we think of miracles is that instantaneous, like boom, all of a sudden you're healed. And I've actually seen someone be healed in that way. They had a short leg and God just touched it and I saw it grow out right in front of my eyes. So that was a pretty instantaneous healing. That was pretty amazing. Yeah, isn't that incredible? It says, if anybody's in trouble, James tells us, is anyone in trouble? Let them pray. So I love that idea. If we're feeling troubled, we can just go to God and bring our sickness, bring our troubles to Him. So that's one way that God heals us. Another way, sometimes it takes time. We might find that we're sick for a week or 2 weeks, and we just recently had a flu bug like a month and a half ago, and we were sick for a couple weeks. We just got really tired. So we had to take some time to let our bodies heal, and we had to rest. And we didn't get instantly healed, but God did bring healing. He's made our bodies in an amazing way that we have germ fighters that fight off sickness, and He's incredible that He's made us that way to repair our bodies, kind of fix and repair themselves, which is awesome. Another way we see healing now, God gives wisdom to His people, to researchers, to scientists, to doctors, and they can bring medicine or good strategies for keeping us healthy and returning us to health. And so that's another beautiful way that God sometimes chooses to heal us. And another way is just by making good choices and showing us how to be healthy. What are some of the healthy things you guys can think of? What are some ways that we are choosing to be healthy?
Eating vegetables.
Oh, yes, I was so glad.
Keeping up with exercise.
That's right. You mentioned before, because you aren't able to join track practice and get your running exercise in, but what are some ways that you're getting some exercise anyway?
Running with our dog.
Yeah.
And running around the house and irritating my sister.
Getting lots of exercise that way. But God has given us also wisdom to know how to be healthy. And that's one of the things we're doing now is we're staying home. We're having church at home. We're here at church, but no one else is here. So it's an amazing thing that God has given us wisdom to know how to take care of our bodies and given us good, nutritious food, veggies, like Nathan said, and we can exercise and be strong and healthy. So that's a great way. And then, of course, this picture reminds me of heaven. And God promises that through Jesus, we will live forever in heaven. And in heaven, is there any sickness?
Yeah.
No sickness, no disease.
Yeah.
So while we're here on earth, we might face that. We might experience getting sick. We know He's with us, and so we don't have to be afraid. And we know that eventually when we get to heaven, we will be completely healed, and there will be no more sickness or disease. So no matter what, we'll be healed in heaven eventually. Okay, so whatever way Jesus chooses to heal us, we can trust Him because He's good and He's always taking care of us and He's always watching over us. So today, our story is about a man who was sitting by the road, and this man had been blind since he was born. So for his entire life, can you imagine that? If you guys close your eyes right now, what do you see? Anything?
Tragedy. My childhood.
You sight.
Yeah,
Oh no, the drama. Nathan, what do you see?
Just a light over there from the sun, and the rest of it is darkness.
Yeah, so not a lot going on. Can you imagine? Maybe you had cereal this morning for breakfast. Can you imagine trying to get your cereal, maybe pour the milk with your eyes closed and maybe eat it with your eyes closed? That'd be kind of tricky. You might be able to do it, but you might make kind of a mess. Or maybe if you're still in your jammies, like some of you I know are, later today, maybe this afternoon, when you go get dressed, try doing that with your eyes closed and see how difficult that might be. Now, I've met several people who are not able to see, several people who are blind, and they have learned amazing ways of getting around. Some of them use a cane, a walking stick, and they can kind of feel in front of them to know where they're going and make sure they're not stepping into a hole or something. And some use a guide dog.
Yeah.
Similar to Lily. She's not good at guiding us yet, but she's learning. So some of them have some helpers, or they might have a friend who's there to help move them around different obstacles that might come in their way. So there are ways that people can learn how to do that. So this man had been blind since he was born, and he was sitting by the road, and then Jesus came by. Jesus came by, and Jesus was really good. He heard those footsteps. He didn't know who it was at first, but Jesus came by and saw this man, and he wanted to help him. And first thing the man heard maybe was a spitting sound. Ooh, that's strange. Okay, and then all of a sudden he feels Jesus' hand with some mud on it. Puts it right on his eyes. Now that would be a strange feeling. I can't imagine. You know, at first he might have looked and been seeing something like this. You can see sometimes when people, if their eyes don't work, this is kind of like how I see. If I don't have my contacts in, everything is super duper blurry. Sometimes it's not completely dark, it's just blurry. But then Jesus put mud on his eyes, okay? And then he told him, go wash your eyes in the pool of Siloam. And the blind man did. And then he saw Jesus, and Jesus had helped him. He knew that it was Jesus. He saw Jesus face to face for the first time ever. Can you imagine seeing for the first time ever, maybe after a whole life of not seeing? That would be an incredible experience. So some people said, well, this isn't the man. This didn't really happen. How do we know this really happened? And the man said, I know, it was Jesus that touched me. Jesus healed me. He's powerful. He has the authority, and he's able to do that. So the people brought the man to the leaders. They didn't understand who Jesus was, and they didn't know how that was possible. And Jesus said, he went and found that man later, and he said, I came to this world so those who don't see may see again. This is why I came. I came to help people. And that's what Jesus was saying. I came to help those who needed my help and to rescue people. And this is just one story. There's so many stories. We could talk for the rest of the day, and I'd love to hear your favorite story of how Jesus healed people. But something special that he did, when he went to the cross and he died for us, he also died for our hearts to be healed as well as our bodies to be healed. And that was the most important part of healing us, was healing our hearts so that we could be close to God forever. So Jesus already paid that price for us so that we could experience true life and true healing, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. So when Jesus was surrounded by all these people coming, they'd heard how he was able to heal people. And in Matthew 15:30, it says large crowds came to him. They brought blind people and those who could not walk. They also brought disabled people, those who could not speak, and many others. They laid them at his feet, and he healed them. So picture that, Jesus healing all of these different people. And then when his followers, those 12 disciples, came to him, in Luke 9:1-2, it says, when Jesus had called the 12 together, he gave them power and authority to drive out all demons and to cure diseases, and he sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick, which is incredible, because guess what? We are also his disciples. So he gives us authority to pray for people and to see people be healed. So we also can have healing in Jesus' name. Is being sick fun? Not so much fun, except sometimes you get to watch movies or lay on the couch all day and eat crackers. But generally, it's not super fun. But Jesus gave us the ability to ask for healing and to pray for other people. And so his heart was always to respond in a way that wanted to help, and he still does. He still heals people today. I think I told you about the healing that I saw of someone's leg growing out. Someone had a short leg, and it just instantly saw it grow out a couple inches. That was incredible, and that happened, a few years ago. But there have been lots of other miracles that we've heard. So ask the grown-ups in your life if they've ever seen a miracle or heard of a miracle happening in your lifetime. That'd be a really great question to ask. And then share. I would love to hear some of your stories down below if you guys have heard stories of healings in your lifetimes. But something that we are able to do, just like Jesus' heart was moved when he heard when people were sick, he wanted to go help them. Our hearts can be moved too, and we can ask the Lord to heal people. So something that we'd like to do on Wednesday nights, some of you will recognize this, is something called a healing board. So if we have people in our lives that we know they need healing, we'll put their names up here and we'll pray for them. So right now we've been praying for Mr. Tito, and you guys wrote a couple other names. Do you mind sharing? We'll pray for them at the end. I'll put them up on our board. And if you guys think of someone, please, you can comment below. You can send me a message, and we'd love to add them to our prayer board. We'll be praying for you all. We're already praying for all of you. Our elders, our pastors, our leadership team, we're all praying for you guys already. So please let us know how we can pray for you more specifically. But what's your name? We've got Mr. Tito's up here. We've been praying for. And who do you have? That's okay. Who do you have?
Miss Sandra.
Miss Sandra. Okay, we're going to add her up on our board, and we're going to be praying for these. We'll pray for these, and if you guys have more to add, we'll add them and keep praying for them in the next several weeks that we're doing this. So we ask the Lord for healing for these names, and we'll continue to ask for it as we go. In James 5:13 through 15, it says, "Is any of you in trouble? Let them pray. Is anyone happy? Let them sing songs of praise. Is anyone among you sick? Let them call the elders of the church to pray over them and anoint them with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord will raise them up. If they have sinned, they will be forgiven." So again, we just invite you guys to share prayer needs. We want to pray with you and join with you and show that compassion. Jesus showed compassion and love for people. He had a lot of people who had a lot of needs. We have a lot of people. Maybe you know someone who needs a new job. Maybe they're not able to go to work, or they need food, or they need healing. Whatever it is, let us know. We want to be able to help you guys and help others in our community. And for sure we can pray. If we have to stay home, we can still pray for people, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be praying for people this week. Just like Jesus did, he went through all the towns and villages, and he taught in their synagogues. He preached the good news of the kingdom, and he healed every illness and sickness. That's the kind of Jesus that we get to follow and love. And so that's what we want to do this week. Hey, boys, you had some things that you were working on. Can I give some ideas to our friends out there, some things that you might draw, pictures you might work on this week about our story? So, Sam, you want to show, what do you have up there? Tell us what you're showing.
So at the top here we got, so it's basically the 3 stages of what the man felt in that one moment. So
Okay.
here is, so it says here, draw how the blind man felt before he was healed, and which you can do that at home too. You can draw a picture of the man who was blind before Jesus walked up to him and said, "Hey." So look here, he's crying. He's super sad. Then here it says, draw the blind man's face when Jesus put mud on his eyes, and so you can do that too. You can draw. He was probably super surprised, like, gosh, what is this dude doing on my eyes? Like, what is he putting on my face? Though it wouldn't be the first time. Like, he's probably thinking that, so he probably would look really surprised. And then then you could draw after Jesus told him to wash off the mud off his face, and what he felt like and looked like after he was healed. He was probably overjoyed, super excited, like, bro.
Super happy. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Nathan, what were you decoding? You were finding, let's see what the answer is. We have healing in the name of, what did you write here?
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, you decoded and found the letters that were hidden in this. And then you answered who you could pray for at the moment. So you guys think of someone that you can pray for. We're going to pray together in just a minute. So think of that person, and then you're going to join us. Do you guys have somebody in mind? All right, let's do it. So we're going to take the name of that person. We're going to stick them right on our hand, and we're going to lift them up to Jesus. All right, let's join us. Ready? Jesus, we just thank you for these people that you love so much and we love so much. And God, we just ask that you would come right now Be close to them. I ask that they would know that you're near, that you're always with them and you never leave them. And God, would you touch them? If they are sick, I ask that you would just touch their bodies and help them to repair and to fight off sickness in the name of Jesus. Amen.
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 Amen. So you guys, again, share some ideas if there are people that you're praying for, ways that you're helping your neighbors. We want to be looking for ways that we can do that safely, how we can love and support one another while we're at home. Okay? We love you guys. Have a great week. Be with Jesus. Have a good time.